Welcome back to the channel Coin Star everyone to another exciting and eye-opening video where today we dive deep into the incredible world of rare United States coins, and in this special episode we are talking about one of the most surprising and most searched coins in recent years, the one-dime 1967 Roosevelt Liberty in God We Trust coin, a coin that many people have in old jars, drawers, piggy banks or inherited collections without knowing that some rare varieties and special condition examples can shock the market with powerful value reaching as high as $33,000, and today we will uncover the full history, the background, the minting details, hidden errors, market factors, collector demand, and everything else that makes this 1967 Roosevelt dime such a fascinating and potentially life-changing piece. So stay with me from the beginning to the end, because every second of this video reveals something new about this incredible coin, starting with the introduction to the Roosevelt Dime series, which began in 1946 honoring President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, whose leadership during the Great Depression and World War II made him one of the most influential figures in American history, and the dime featuring his portrait became not just a coin but a tribute to his legacy. Now moving forward to the year 1967, a unique year in American coinage history, because during the mid-1960s the United States Mint was struggling with a major coin shortage caused by a combination of rising silver prices, hoarding panic, and public demand. So to resolve the crisis, the Mint removed silver from dimes and quarters starting in 1965, which means the 1967 dime is made of a copper-nickel clad composition rather than silver, and on top of that the Mint suspended the use of mint marks in 1965, 1966 and 1967 to prevent collectors from increasing the shortage by hoarding coins based on mint marks. So every 1967 dime has no mint mark regardless of where it was produced, and this detail makes the 1967 dime a special part of American numismatic history. Now here is where things get even more interesting, because even though the 1967 dime is common in circulation, some extremely high-grade examples certified in mint state 68 or 69 with full torch details, or FT, also known as full bands, can skyrocket in value due to their rarity and the challenge of finding perfectly struck examples from that year. Many circulated coins show weak strike scratches, contact marks and wear, but the ones that escaped the system in perfect condition, hidden away in rolls or mint sets for decades, are the ones that collectors fight for at auctions. And this is where the huge value comes into action, because some pristine examples with full strike details have been sold in major auctions for prices reaching toward $33,000, making it one of the most shocking results for a clad dime in the entire Roosevelt series. And this massive value comes from several key reasons, including rarity in ultra-high-grade, strong collector demand for full torch examples, limited supply of perfectly preserved coins, and the increasing popularity of modern coin collecting. Now let us talk about the design features. So when you look closely at a 1967 dime, on the obverse you see the portrait of President Roosevelt with Liberty written to the left and the phrase "In God We Trust" placed beneath his chin, along with the date 1967 near the bottom and the designer initials JS for John Sinek located near the bust, while on the reverse you see the symbolic torch representing liberty, along with an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength and courage tied together to show the balanced ideals of the United States, with the words United States of America and one dime inscribed around the edges. Now many beginners ask what exactly makes a 1967 dime worth thousands when most are barely worth 10 cents, and the answer is simple: condition, rarity and errors. Because while the majority of these coins are common, some rare varieties stand out, including extremely high-grade examples with perfect surfaces, rare die variety pieces with doubled lettering or unusual die polishing lines, and coins with off-center strikes, filled letters, misaligned dies or planchet defects, which all make them unique and highly collectible in the numismatic world. And when one of these rare forms appears in an auction, the competition becomes intense, driving the price upward as collectors try to add the best possible example to their collection. So if you are wondering how to check if your 1967 dime is valuable, start by examining it under bright light. Look for sharp details on the torch and flame. Inspect Roosevelt's hair texture. Check the condition of the fields, the smooth areas of the coin. Look for any doubling on letters or numbers, and look carefully for unusual shapes or misprints. And if your coin appears flawless with full details and mirror-like surfaces, you may have a special example worth grading. And if it is graded by a top certification service like PCGS or NGC and receives an ultra-high grade, then its value can skyrocket far above the typical market value, making it a powerful treasure hidden in plain sight. Now as we move forward, let us talk about the coin market trends, because the value of rare Roosevelt dimes, especially high-grade clad dimes, has increased significantly over the Last decade collectors are realizing how difficult it is to find perfect modern coins, and this demand boosts auction prices even further, making coins like the 1967 Roosevelt dime a strong piece for collectors, investors and enthusiasts. And another reason these coins attract attention is because they are part of American everyday history, since dimes have been used by millions for decades, making them one of the most familiar currencies in the country. And finding a rare version of something so ordinary becomes a thrilling discovery, like uncovering hidden treasure in your pocket change. And when you think about how a simple 10-cent coin can turn into a $33,000 jackpot, it makes every collector excited to check their coins one by one. Now let us explore a few real examples of auction records that took the coin world by surprise, such as a pristine 1967 Roosevelt dime graded MS 69 feet, which reached extremely high value due to its perfect strike, full torch details, and nearly flawless surface, making it the type of coin that every collector dreams of owning. And this kind of value explosion is not only rare but also inspirational for new collectors, encouraging them to explore coins in their own homes, because you never know what treasures are waiting to be discovered. And that is exactly why the 1967 dime has grown into one of the most talked about and trending coins in modern numismatic videos, capturing massive views on social media platforms and YouTube channels dedicated to coin collecting, investments and currency history. And now, for those wondering whether you might have a rare piece, always check mint sets, because many high-grade examples come from those sets where coins were protected from circulation and kept clean for decades, giving them a much better chance of receiving a high grade. And remember, even though most 1967 dimes are worth face value, the rare ones in exceptional condition with full torch or special errors are the ones capable of creating headline making prices that shock the coin collecting community. So keep your eyes open and never ignore old change, because history has shown that sometimes the most ordinary coin can become a financial blessing if preserved in the right condition. And with that, we wrap up this massive deep dive into the one dime 1967 Roosevelt Liberty in God We Trust coin, with its powerful history, minting story, hidden rarities, errors, full torch varieties and market value reaching as high as $33,000, making it one of the most amazing pieces for any collector. And if you enjoyed this long, detailed and exciting explanation, make sure you subscribe, like and share, because we bring you the most trending coin videos packed with knowledge, excitement and the possibility of finding your own treasure in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more incredible coin stories coming soon. The world of rare and valuable United States coins, and today we are taking a long and fascinating journey into the story, value, mystery and hidden fortune behind the one dime 1981 D Roosevelt Liberty USA in God We Trust coin, a modern American gem from the early 80s that has shocked the numismatic world by reaching an unbelievable market value of $31,000. And today we are going to explore every detail, every rare error, every historical twist, every minting secret and every reason that makes this simple 10-cent coin turn into a treasure that collectors chase relentlessly around the globe. So sit tight, hit that like button, subscribe if you love discovering rare coins worth big money, and let us begin this incredible journey into the world of the 1981 D Roosevelt dime, which many collectors never imagined could be worth a fortune, but is now rewriting history in the rare coin market as we speak. Now, to understand what makes the 1981 D dime special, we must go back to the legacy of the Roosevelt dime series. First minted in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, America's leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and whose leadership left an everlasting mark on history. His memory inspired a coin design featuring a bold profile portrait facing left with the word Liberty prominently placed near the rim, and the phrase "In God We Trust" displayed clearly as a reminder of the nation's strength, unity and trust in the year of minting below the portrait. And of course, on the reverse side, the iconic torch symbolizing freedom, flanked by olive and oak branches representing peace and victory, the powerful symbols that define American ideals. Now fast forward to 1981, a year full of economic challenges, technological progress and shifting minting standards in the United States. And during that year, the Denver Mint, marked by the famous D Mint mark, produced millions of Roosevelt dimes using advanced machinery. But even with modern technology, the mint still produced a number of rare, unexpected and highly valuable errors, and it is these errors and unusual striking conditions that have turned the ordinary 1981 D dime into a coin worth thousands of dollars, especially in high-grade conditions. The most valuable examples of the 1981 D Roosevelt dime are those graded extremely high, such as Mint State 67, Mint State 68, and the extremely rare Mint State 69, which are nearly perfect coins with razor-sharp details, full luster and no Scratches or marks. These coins can easily cross the $10,000 to $31,000 mark in the collector's market depending on rarity and demand, but grading alone is not the only factor because stunning errors are what truly push the value of some 1981D dimes into the five-figure range. Errors such as off-center strikes, double die, obverse double die, reverse filled mint mark, missing mint mark, improper planchet, strike through grease, transitional composition and broad strike errors are extremely desirable to collectors, and when these errors appear on a coin as modern as a 1981D dime they become rare exceptions worth huge money. For example, a double die obverse error where the lettering Liberty or the phrase "In God We Trust" appears doubled is one of the highest paying varieties because collectors admire dramatic doubling visible without magnification, and these types of coins can reach thousands of dollars depending on sharpness and preservation. Another powerful error comes from off-center strikes where the coin is not properly aligned under the press, resulting in part of the design missing, and the misalignment can vary from 5% to 90%, and the more dramatic the off-center misalignment the higher the price. In fact, extreme off-center 1981D Roosevelt dimes, especially those still showing the D mint mark, can sell for thousands to premium collectors. Then there are strike-through errors where something like grease, metal shavings, cloth or other debris got between the die and the planchet during striking, causing missing details, distorted surfaces or unusual patterns, and these rare factory mistakes can also dramatically raise the value of the coin and turn a simple dime into a major auction highlight. Now let us look at the historical context behind the 1981 period. The US Mint was preparing for big changes that would come in 1982 when composition and lettering details began shifting on many US coins, so the 1981 issues, especially those from the Denver Mint, remain part of a fascinating transitional era that collectors love to study, and this alone increases interest in the high-quality examples produced that year. Another key factor is survival rate. Although millions were minted, only a tiny percentage survived in perfect or near perfect condition because circulation where scratches, bag marks and damage reduced the quality of most pieces, so the coins that remain in pristine condition have become extremely rare and extremely valuable now. From a collector's viewpoint, the 1981D Roosevelt dime has become a legend in modern numismatics because its highest graded examples have crossed the $31,000 mark at major coin auctions where wealthy collectors compete fiercely to obtain the best of the best, and this massive demand has pushed the coin into the category of modern treasures, which means ordinary people who check their pocket change drawers, jars and old boxes could find a valuable piece hiding in plain sight. Imagine discovering a simple dime that turns out to be a fortune worth $31,000. That is exactly why collectors are searching for this coin across the world, and why you should check your coins carefully, especially if you have older rolls or collections from the 80s. Now let us break down what to look for if you want to identify a potentially valuable 1981D Roosevelt dime. First, check the mint mark located on the obverse side to confirm the D for Denver. Then observe the surface for strong luster, full band lines on the torch, a sign of a sharp strike which massively increases value. Then use a magnifying glass to look for doubling errors in the lettering in the motto "In God We Trust" or in the portrait features. Another step is to check for off-center strikes, broad strikes or missing details caused by minting mistakes. Next, consider the overall condition because collectors and grading companies mainly reward top-grade examples, meaning coins with no fingerprints, no scratches, no discoloration, no damage and full original shine. If your coin appears flawless, it may qualify for grading, and that is where true value unlocks, because once a coin receives a high grade from grading companies like PCGS or NGC, its market value increases dramatically, turning small change into a major payday. The highest recorded sale for a pristine 1981D Roosevelt dime reached around $31,000 in an auction, shocking even long-time collectors and causing a surge of interest in the series. And this record sale proved that modern coins can hold extraordinary value when preserved perfectly or when minted with rare errors. Today, more collectors than ever are investing in modern era coins, hoping to discover hidden gems, and the 1981D dime stands at the center of this movement. Now, looking at the future market trends, experts believe that the value of high-grade modern coins will continue to rise as more collectors turn their attention to post-1965 coinage, which was once overlooked but is now recognized as an important historical era. Thus, the 1981D dime may continue to appreciate, especially rare error examples and top-graded pieces. So if you have a collection at home or inherited coins from parents or grandparents, now is the time to examine them carefully, because your next treasure might be waiting in a dusty box and could be worth more than you imagine. So now, as we wrap up this powerful and extremely detailed exploration, always remember that coin Collecting is not just a hobby, it is a journey into history, art, value and hidden treasure, and every coin tells a story. But some coins like the 1981 D. Roosevelt Liberty USA In God We Trust dime tell a story worth $31,000, a story of rarity, unexpected errors, minting precision and collector demand that transforms a 10-cent piece into a prize worthy of museum shelves and elite auctions. So if you enjoyed this extremely long and informative video script, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for more episodes where we uncover the most valuable pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters and dollars from the United States and around the world. And remember, treasure is everywhere, you just have to look closely. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting and keep discovering rare coins worth big money. Collectors of rare American currency, today's video is going to take you deep into the world of modern minting mysteries as we explore one of the most surprising and exciting coins of recent years, the $1 dime 2018 P. Roosevelt Liberty USA In God We Trust coin, a coin that many people think is just a regular dime worth 10 cents, but in reality certain rare versions of this coin have shocked the coin community by selling for huge amounts in the collector's market, with some extremely rare error examples reaching an unbelievable $11,000. Yes, you heard that right, a tiny 10-cent Roosevelt dime from the year 2018 minted at the Philadelphia Mint carrying the famous P Mint mark can be worth more than a used car, more than a high-end laptop, and even more than some gold coins. And today I am going to tell you exactly why this coin has become so valuable, how errors occur, how to spot the rare types, the history behind the Roosevelt dime, and what you need to look for in your pocket change and coin jars, because you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. So make sure you watch till the very end and do not skip any part, because every detail can help you identify a rare $11,000 coin. So let's begin our journey with the history of the Roosevelt dime, a coin that honors one of America's most influential presidents, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, whose leadership during the Great Depression and World War II forever transformed the United States. The dime, featuring his portrait, was first introduced in 1946, 1 year after his passing, replacing the Mercury dime, and since then it has remained one of the most widely circulated coins in America. The 2018 version continues this legacy, carrying the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the obverse, along with the date and the P Mint mark indicating that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Now millions and millions of these coins were produced in 2018, but as collectors know, value does not come from how many coins exist, but from how many coins exist with rare mistakes, mint errors, unusual features and special conditions. And this is where things get thrilling, because the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime has some jaw-dropping errors that have made it one of the most exciting modern coins for collectors in recent years. Imagine finding a coin you thought was only worth 10 cents and discovering that it carries a minting flaw so unusual that collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars for it. Some rare 2018 P dime errors include off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or shifted dramatically, double die errors where the letters look doubled, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust, broad strike errors where the coin appears wider due to being struck without the retaining collar, missing clad layer errors where one side of the coin looks copper instead of silver, colored die cracks and die breaks that create raised lines, bumps or extra metal on the coin, and the extremely sought after full band details on the torch on the reverse, which brings high prices for perfectly sharp strikes. Now collectors love coins that stand out, and the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime has produced some of the sharpest, cleanest and most desirable modern error examples ever recorded, and those rare error versions are the ones that have reached astronomical prices in auctions and private sales, with some premium grade error varieties selling for as much as $11,000. What makes these specific error coins so valuable is the combination of rarity, condition and demand among modern coin specialists. If a coin shows a major dramatic error, is in excellent mint state condition and has been professionally graded, it can easily attract huge bidding wars and sell for high four-figure, even five-figure amounts. So what does this mean for you? It means check every single one of your 2018 dimes, because the treasure could be hidden right there in your pocket. Many people who found these rare coins discovered them not in old collections but in everyday circulation at grocery stores, in change from gas stations, inside coin jars, and even stuck between couch cushions. The key is knowing exactly what to look for, so let me break it down in the simplest way possible. First, check for the P Mint mark. It must be the 2018 P Philadelphia version. Second, check the condition. The shinier and cleaner the coin is, the better, but even worn coins with major errors can still bring high money. Third, examine The coin under light or a magnifying glass. Look closely at Liberty in God We Trust. The date and the torch on the reverse to spot doubling off center designs, cracks, or anything that looks unusual. Fourth, if you think you found something valuable, do not clean it. Cleaning coins damages their worth. Instead, store it safely and consider getting it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, a regular 2018 P dime might only be worth face value, but a rare high-grade error example can bring $10,000 or even up to $11,000 depending on its uniqueness and condition. And this is why collectors love modern coins, because even though they are new, they still offer opportunities to discover valuable mistakes straight from the mint. Now let's talk a little more about why error coins exist. The minting process is fast, powerful, and capable of producing billions of coins in a short time, but machines are not perfect, and when something goes wrong, even for a split second, the press can create dramatic mistakes such as misaligned dies, doubled impressions, or metal planchet defects that lead to coins that are different from the standard design. These accidents are not supposed to leave the mint, but sometimes they do, and when they reach circulation they become treasures waiting to be found. And the 2018 P dime had just enough of these rare mistakes slip through to spark huge excitement among collectors, which is why videos about it have trended, and thousands of coin hunters search for them every day. Another surprising factor is that modern collectors no longer focus only on old coins. Some of the most valuable finds in recent years have come from coins minted after 2000 because technology makes errors less common. So when a major error slips through, it becomes extremely desirable and the market responds with high prices. So when we talk about the 2018 P Roosevelt dime being worth $11,000, we are talking about the rarest of the rare, the top-graded dramatic mint errors, the coins that stand out in a crowd of hundreds of millions. And because so few exist, collectors are willing to pay premium amounts to add them to their collections. In fact, market analysts say the value of these rare modern error coins is rising each year because demand is high and supply is extremely limited. So you might be holding a future treasure even if you don't realize it yet. This brings us to the importance of grading. Grading is the process where experts rate the quality of a coin from poor condition all the way to mint state perfect condition, which can boost the price dramatically. A coin graded MS67 or MS68, especially if it is an error variety, can skyrocket in value. So if you ever find a strange 2018 P dime, do not ignore it. It could be your ticket to thousands of dollars. And remember, even if you find a normal coin, studying these details helps you become a smarter collector and increases your chances of discovering rare treasures in the future. So next time someone hands you change, take a moment to look closely, because history, value, rarity, and mystery can all be hidden in the smallest coin, like the 10-cent Roosevelt dime from 2018. And the best part is you don't need to spend money to find these coins. You just need awareness, patience, and a bit of luck, and who knows, maybe you will be the next person to discover an $11,000 dime in your everyday pocket change. So treasure hunters, keep your eyes open, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep watching, because rare coins are out there waiting to be discovered. And the one dime 2018 P Roosevelt Liberty USA in God We Trust coin is one of the most exciting hidden gems of the modern era. And if you enjoyed this extremely detailed guide and want more videos on rare Lincoln pennies, rare quarters, rare dollar notes, and rare modern errors that are worth huge money, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Your support helps the channel grow and brings you more treasure hunting content every week. Until next time, happy collecting, and may the next valuable coin be the one you find today.